Yo, what's going on out there, YouTube fam? This is Sammy Leggett here representing Team JVS. I am back again for another movie review. The name of this movie is called Justice Society, World War II. What did I think about this? Thank you. I just want to do a quick thing. Thank you for Warner Brothers Entertainment for supplying us with a review opportunity for this specific product. I am very excited to say that I did enjoy Justice Society. So let's go ahead and just kind of kick it off. What is this about? So the backdrop is this. The Justice Society of America, a group of heroes aiding the Allies in World War II, acquire an ally from the future who sends them a adventure that changes history. So the thing about this film was kind of like, I was like, okay, the concept alone, like you got the era of the World War II, where you got not just like Wonder Woman in it, but like the whole squad of the Justice Society, and some other faces that you didn't expect, like Black Canary and a few others that I don't want to say. But the OP people that you've seen, if you looked at Stargirl, you know who the Justice Society is, and a little bit more of a refresher, even going back to the days of Smallville. But I mean, when you got like Minuteman, you got Dr. Fate, you got Hawkman, like you got a real true squad. And it's just very fascinating to watch them in their element, to actually see like Jay Garrick be like the Flash of that era and whatnot. And it didn't feel dated. Matter of fact, the key parts of this was seeing the Justice Society in action, seeing them working together, seeing them and their connection to each other. Some of them, even Steve Trevor makes an appearance in this. Seeing them all in their relationships. It seems like one of the things I found really fascinating about this story was that they were immersed in a war-torn situation where as soon as they see the future Flash, immediately as soon as it happens, they kind of just like jaded, like, yeah, let's torture him. He needs to get information from him. Like they just were war-ridden, right? But when you get to the meat and potatoes of each one of their characters, the layers behind them, they are deeply connected to each other. Like when I say deeply, like some interactions made me question, like, whoa, like there's some deep relationships actually going on. I thought that was really interesting because I did not foresee that from this specific story. I did like the stylization of the 1940s, 1930s era, especially the aesthetic of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman in this was amazing. If you've watched, the first Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot, you saw her just kind of let loose, this is the movie for you. Like you will really truly see her give it everything. And it's just amazing to watch, even like from down to the accent, to her strategy, to her understanding and her empathetic heart, but yet her soldier aesthetic. It's just amazing to watch. Even daggone Black Canary when this one was freaking amazing. Like they use these characters at their utmost. Heck, matter of fact, I saw the back of the DVD that I had, and it kind of had Aquaman up in there. And I was like, what in the world is Aquaman doing? This doesn't make any sense. But yo, I'm gonna tell you, it brings you back to some without spoiling anything, some very Flashpoint-esque kind of emotions. Because you get to see Aquaman go at it hard as well. Like I was like, this is amazing. Like this is actually like the animation and the intent of violence. Matter of fact, I'll say this: if this was rated R, I think that this would have been almost a 10 for 10 type of film, because some of the situations of like World War II and then just the situation that they were in required a lot of violence, a lot of death, and I was kind of like, I feel like for the very first time, like the PG-13 rating is kind of holding this back, but it still, was really rough. It's still, when moments happen of death or violence, it still stuck its landing. Make no doubt about it. But what did I think about, not just, of course, the Wonder Woman and like how well they actually executed her as a character, but what about this as a Flash film? Because this starts off with Flash and it ends with Flash. Matter of fact, the very first opening shot you see with him is him with Iris West. And you get an understanding that the universe that the Superman movie that came out just recently it's in that same universe, and which is very perplexing because it's literally Superman starting out, and so it's kind of like, are we back to like how Justice League War was, which is kind of like the beginnings of like Superman and everybody else. It kind of feels like this is more of a reboot situation, but not. I can't say or expound on why, but that picture that I had of Aquaman, that's all I can give you a hint about. Because they do something in this movie that I've been waiting for them to do in the movies, and it is a amazing surprise. It is a amazing shocker, and is much needed. I think. Matter of fact, the whole part about Flash even being in this. At first, I was like, "This makes no sense. What are you guys doing? Did you not look at Avengers Endgame, Infinity War? You not see what Cap did? You not see what the ramifications of what Loki did? Have you not learned from the Flashpoint Flash?" And yet they do something that it's kind of like, oh, that is where we're going with this. And so it makes these interactions and these moments more thought-provoking, which is hard to do in an animated film, right? Now, this is where the negatives start to go in, and it's not really heavy negatives. For every question that I had, right, of like, why did this character come here? Who is that person? What does this mean? What was the point behind this? There are certain subtle answers that are kind of given, but they're not. There's a lot of threads that are just left out there, and you're like, why did you leave this out? Like, specifically, there's two specific threads. One involves Superman, and another involves a character that I'm not going to name because I don't even know. And they just decide, well, we're not going to let you know what that is. You're just going to have to kind of wait and see and know where this is going. But I think that if this is leading somewhere, then I can say it was worth it. It was worth the ride. If it doesn't lead anywhere, if it doesn't go anywhere, then I would be sorely disappointed, because I was like, you could maximize this with the end credit scene. You can maximize this with a nudge to where this is really going. Not just that, you got freaking Justice Society that's going to be unearthed in different levels on the Black Adam movie, as well as what they're doing with progression with Stargirl. Because in Stargirl, okay, so this is hard. This is the weird thing. I don't want to say too much. This takes place in the 1940s. The Justice Society worked not in the public light, okay? So when we see Jay Garrick, as we know him, he's a lot older. And this, he's a lot younger. So that just gives you food for thought. So if you're looking for maybe Alan Scott, then you might not get this now, but that doesn't mean that that's not coming later. I think that that's the thing that sets this movie apart, is that there's some world building things that you just don't expect. And they really, truly commit to giving you what that potentially could be. But then at the same time, they kind of hold back. And I don't know why they're holding back. I feel like it is leading somewhere or to something. But when you got movies on the horizon like Long Halloween, and then you're doing Justice Society, it makes me start to think where are you going with this? Are you, instead of making these kind of Elseworld kind of things, are you blending this to be its own type of universe? Again, I've suspected, and I was praying, and I'm still hoping that when they ended off on the 52 arc with Apocalypse War, that was progressing us to Rebirth. That's what I was hoping that this was going to go. There are nudges in this film, specifically with characters like Hawkman and the Flash and Jay Garrick, that lead you to believe that there's something else going on. And it's not just the cookie cutter answer that you think it is. It's actually possibly something more. Now, I will say this. I didn't have as much issue with, the imagery for this film as I did for Superman film. But I do miss the art style for the 52 version. I just can't get behind the the outlined aesthetic. It doesn't seem as sharp as it could be. But to be fair, the animation in this one and the fight scenes in this movie far supersede whatever that Superman film did, as well as what came after that. But I can say I'll give this an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed Justice Society. Like, it in the first beginnings, I was like, that didn't make any sense. That was dumb. Like, this doesn't lead us anywhere. Or like, what are you doing with the timeline right now? But they give you answers, subtle answers that progressively make this better. And the third act of this is bonkers. You are not going to predict how the third act ends. The only thing that I wish they would have done is left an end credit scene, and they did not. But aside from all that, that is my review for the Justice Society World War II. I did do a full commentary watch party for the film, so definitely go and check that out on our Twitch. It's of course, no video or anything like that, but it is pretty decent commentary from me. And I think I had a really good time, and hopefully you guys have a good time watching it. But make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell button. I'll talk to you guys later on. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, guys.